This month's roundtable is about business foundations. And we just want to have a discussion about, um, you know, people tend to think that they need to they need new customers all the time, and they don't. Sometimes they need to optimize what they already have to increase revenues and increase profits. So that's what roundtable subject is about this month, but we're always open to answering questions about anything related to business and finances on our Financial Empowerment Roundtable. So, yeah, that's what it's about. You can switch the slide, Lauren. So just to let you know who we are, I'm Michelle Mitchell. I am the owner and CEO of Mitchell Consulting, and we have been in business for 13 years now, and we focus on finances for small business owners, from bookkeeping to financial advisory and CFO work. Our goal here is to help business owners bridge the gap between their passion and their profit, which means education in financial literacy, which is why we do these roundtables, so that we can answer questions, because I know finances is usually, you didn't go into business to do your finances, but it's definitely part of what you do. And it is actually your report card of how your business is functioning, which is why we wanted to do business foundations, because if your foundation is not solid, then you can't get the results in your finances that you want. So that's what we're here to do. And we also have a team. So, Lauren, you can.
Why isn't it moving?
I don't know.
Okay.
There you go. So we have a team of people to help support our business owners. We have Evan, who is our accounting supervisor. He has been with Mitchell Consulting for 5 years, and he is amazing. And he's absent today because he caught the bug. So he's out today, but he is the one that is usually overseeing all of your financial reporting. And he runs the back end of the business for our clients. And then we have Lauren. She is our new business advisor, and she is helping with not only accounting work, but also advisory work as well, helping small businesses to help them become more strategic in what they do so that they can get the results that they're looking for. So Lauren has actually been on the team since 2020 in a bookkeeping capacity, and now she's here with us as a business advisor. And she has a breadth of experience. She was an internal auditor for 12 years, so she brings a high level of expertise to Mitchell Consulting. And then we have Eric. Eric is our bookkeeper and our QuickBooks kind of wizard to make QuickBooks function like seamlessly in the background. And Eric has been with us for about almost a year and a half now. We really enjoy his humor on our team, but he's usually in the background. You don't see him much, but he's doing a lot of the magic that happens with your accounting and bookkeeping work. So that's our team, and you can shout them out and say hello. Yeah, next. Okay, so starting with business foundations. And what's the big secret about business growth and business revenue and expenses? So you started your business because you had a passion about something or you have an expertise in something. And as you are going along in business and you're making sales and you're finding your clients and you're doing the work, a lot of times, we start as solo entrepreneurs. But over time, we find that it is difficult or not, it is difficult to grow alone because you're doing all the things. You're doing all the marketing, you're doing administration work, you're meeting with new potential clients, you're meeting with your current clients. And all of that creates what I call a hamster wheel, because you're continuously in a circle of either delivering your services to your clients, and then you forget that you need to actually make more money. So then you go out and try to network and market your business so you can get new clients. And then you get new clients, then now you have all this work that you now have to deliver on. So it really is a vicious cycle. And I've been in that cycle before because I'm also doing all the other things. I'm trying to do the administration part. I'm trying to do my own bookkeeping. I'm trying to do my own marketing. I'm trying to create my own website or keep my website updated. I'm my own social media person. So when you have all of these things that you're doing as the owner of the business, things begin to fall through the cracks. And when things begin to fall through the cracks, you have money leaks in your business. Therefore, your business is not producing either the revenue that you want or the profit that you want. So let me just explain the difference between revenue and profit a little bit. Is that revenue is the sales that are coming into your business. And that's the hamster wheel we're on. If we're on a retainer like type model where we get clients who pay a retainer every single month, or we have projects and we go out, we get the new projects, then we have to work the projects. And then we forget we need new clients because that project is about to end. So then we go out and try to find new clients, right? So it is that hamster wheel that we're on, but that generates the income that comes into your business as revenue. The other thing is that we try to increase our profit. So our profit comes out of the business after all expenses are paid. So you have your revenue, and then you have all of your operational expenses, as well as the expenses that you incur to market your business, to have your website, to have internet, all of those things come out, and you're left with net profit. And if you're a solopreneur, your net profit may not be showing up in your bank account because you should have paid yourself. And if you're a solopreneur and you're showing net profit on your profit and loss statement, but your bank account doesn't show that, well, when you're a solopreneur, you get to take withdrawals from the business out of the business, and it's not reported on the profit and loss statement, which gives us a false sense of how our business is doing, because those withdrawals are actually showing up on your balance sheet because we're taking equity out of the business. But that doesn't relate to what you're seeing in your bank account. Like, I've had people tell me, it says I made $40,000 this year, but where is it? It's probably on the balance sheet as an owner's draw. That's why you don't see it on the balance sheet. So it is important for you to understand the different components of the business and how it operates. But when we have these leaks in the business, because we are trying to do so many things, our financials doesn't show us the results that we think we should be having, which is why most business owners feel this way. So I know we have a business owner here. Do you have any questions about that part?
I don't think so. I feel like I know that.
Yeah.
That's like I feel that on a daily basis though.
Yeah, it is a
Um,
cycle. It
it is.
really,
Yeah.
is a cycle. And until you begin to put things in place to alleviate some of that cycle, you're going to continuously be on that type of a hamster wheel. So we do have a solution. Um, we, I have created this program called Passion to Profit. And Passion to Profit really tries to help alleviate this for small business owners. Yes, this slide right here. Passion to Profit tries to alleviate this for small business owners. And I really like to start with foundational mindset about business and business growth. Because a lot of times, small business owners think that they can just pull a number out of the air. That's their goal for the year for revenue. But we don't have a strategy on how to get there. So developing your mindset about business and just switching it around and thinking about business differently, you can begin to see how all the foundational pieces fit into place so that you can reach those arbitrary, it may seem, revenue goals that you set for yourself, especially in January. And the one thing that I really feel strongly about is that you got to know what your vision is for your business long term. Like, what is that vision, and how, and do you even know the steps that it's going to take for you to even reach that vision? So I really feel strongly about understanding your vision for your business. Then building a culture in your business the way you want your culture to be in the business, instead of it being willy-nilly, or you're not always using the same language in your business. That's confusing when you are talking about your business in the marketplace. So developing that culture. Who are you? What do you stand for? What's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the core values of the business? And once we have that in alignment with what our vision is for our business, then we can begin to look at how we service our clients, or how we want to bring team members into a business that's already have a set culture. And with that culture, you begin to attract your ideal client, the client that you can actually create the transformation for, and the client that you can actually do your best work for. So then we start building these profitable offers for that specific ideal client. And yes, we say ideal, we will have clients that come to us that are in the fringes, but if they meet the vision and the core values of the business, you can still offer those ideal services to that client, even though they may be on the fringes of what your ideal client is. And also, when developing your profitable offers for your ideal client, you really need to look at your own genius zone and what you do the best, and how you can deliver the transformation to the client. When you can pull those things out and create a business that really has your core values in it and your expertise, in it, then we can offer those clients a service at the right price, and they will always say yes, because you know your expertise, you know what you can deliver for them. And then creating a process within your business, that client journey. How can you help them from beginning working with you all the way to that lifelong client? Because what you should be able to do in your business is, as you grow as a business owner, you should be able to offer more value to your clients. And when you offer more value to your clients, those clients stay with you because they've already bought into your vision, mission, purpose. And when you do that, you just offer them more things that you can help them with, because you know how to solve their specific problems. Therefore, you get long-term clients. And then how do you duplicate that system that you've created, that you've done on your own, and now you want to plug in people that have their own expertise that fits in with your business vision and culture, that can help expand and grow your business profitably. So that's your operation system. Have you documented how you've gone through this process and how you work with clients? When you start closing the gap in your operational systems of your business, you close the holes that are leaking profits out of your bucket. So that is so important. Once you get all of these other things in place, closing the holes that are leaking profits out of your bucket, and then building a team that's going to help you get to the freedom so that you, the business owner, are no longer on the hamster wheel, because you've learned how to delegate tasks to team members, and they can fulfill those tasks exactly the way that you would, because you have a system and a process for them to do it. So this is the core of what Passion to Profit is. And it is a business growth strategy so that you can get to the place of financial freedom. And it does take time. Even though this course is actually 8 weeks, we include 4 additional weeks so you can work on some of these elements within the business. But at the end of the day, you will end up with a business that's solid and it's ready for you to pour new clients into. But first, we need to put these things in place so that you're offering things that will actually generate profit for your business. The other good thing about Passion to Profit is we are here to support you. So even though the course itself is a total of 12 weeks, we will be here monthly to answer questions about your progress. And if you want more help, we can offer you more help with that. Like we can be available for you to answer your specific questions as you go through this process. So Lauren, you can go to the next slide. So Passion to Profit is open for business now. Right now, we are still in the bonus phase until September 15th, where we're going to begin with Profit, which is a beginner course to help you understand what legal entity you need to be, understand what your personal finances are, and then what your business needs to generate to meet your personal finances. So that's kind of a beginner course. And then I've done Passion to Profit before, so I'm also giving you access to Passion to Profit 1.0. And you also receive a one-on-one strategy session with me. That ends September 15th. Then you will get a half off ticket to any in-person event that we will do as long as you're a member of Passion to Profit. And we have two payment options. One, pay in full, which you can see there everything you get. Or if budget is an issue, $199, and you get all the core information about Passion to Profit along with the accountability calls for the rest of the year. So that's Passion to Profit. We will put a link so that you can go to the page and sign up. But I think Passion to Profit is critical for your business because it will lay a solid foundation for you to then build upon. So, any questions?
I don't think I have any questions. I'm more have like statements.
Sure.
Can you go back to the last slide? I think. I feel like the main problem that I find myself in, having gone through Passion to Profit, is finding the time to build systems for future employees or future projects. You know, I've had that on my list. Like I've had a number of different like SOPs and various different like tasks like on my list to get to, but I think doing the work, because the ship is still pretty small where I'm working, and I feel like a lot of people could probably relate to this, is the work still needs to be done. Like right now, this week, I am mixing an album, and I have worked about 10 hours every day since Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a lot. And there's no time in that day, or like, you know, you can think of like any other person. Like if you have a job where you're like a contractor and you have to be on location to build, like there's no time when you have clients, when you're actually making, you know, money, to step aside and do that extra work, do those extra steps to keep growing. And you know, I feel like even during me saying that doesn't mean like there's stagnation or there's like a lack of growth. There's actually tremendous amounts of growth because of the information I've gained from doing Passion to Profit. But because of what I have already put in place, I'm getting more work, or I'm working with more people who align with my values and can meet me like in the middle, where I'm offering like a service that is like the right price and is for the right people, and we are aligned, and like every project actually gets bigger from the last one. Still going back to what I was saying before, is I don't have time. Like I feel like the time is even more fleeting than when I took Passion to Profit to put into continuously growing. There are numerous moments during the day where like today I was like, I need an assistant, because I can't financially afford an assistant right now, unless I was like, I could get an assistant, but then that I'd have to take that out of my cut, which what you're saying even before that is like the profit of your business is normally going to you, the person who's running the business. Yes and no, you know, I still have profit, but it's just not as much as it could be if I was like taken out of that equation. And I feel like in the growth plan, that's always like that's where you're trying to get to, where you are now, you know, like say an S corp, and you are getting a salary. So then anything below or above that salary cost is like profit above there. But there's like a threshold you have to hit before you can even get to that point. And even I think in that conversation, sometimes you might want to pay as a business owner, you might want to pay employees more a salary than pay yourself a salary, because your employees, normally the people that you have on your team, they're worth so much more to the business than paying yourself a salary.
I would agree with that statement sometimes. Yes. But okay, so let's talk about the time issue. So, like, I look at my calendar on a monthly basis. Well, really, I do it in 90-day increments, right? Um, with my quarterly planning. And I pick the days that I'm going to work on the business, and I block my calendar for those days, because otherwise they just get filled with more client work. And when you take the time to slow down and work on the business, you actually can grow faster once you put the things that you've been working on in place. So just take a look at the next 90 days and pick at a minimum of 3 days in the next 90 days to work on the business only. What's better is to pick about 6 days, so 2 days a month to work on the business. And they don't have to be in day increments. It could be half day increments, so 4 hours here or 4 hours there. Or if you have the luxury of taking a day, you can take a day and work on the business. And then what the result of working on that piece that you're working on during that, I call them CEO days, how are you going to implement them? And who is responsible for the implementation that's of people that's on your team? And if you don't have a team yet, when will you have a resource that can help you fulfill the implementation of it? Because it's really hard as you're becoming the CEO to create the plan and implement the plan too. So you got to have strong people on your team to take some of that off of your plate, which I've been blessed and lucky to have the team that I have, because I'm able to delegate things to them so that I can either work on going out and getting more business, or developing relationships with other people that can then help introduce me to more people. So, and it is a process. It is not something that's going to be accomplished overnight. It is a process. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking the time is always the hard part.
Yes, it is. That is always the hardest part, because you feel like if you take time to work on the business, then business is not getting done. But the thing is, if you take time to work on the business, you know what the right things are to work on in the business, because you've had time to work through those things. And that is the difficult balance. I would like for Lauren to interject if you have any insight into.
I was actually about to.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing from you, Tony, is kind of the hamster wheel that Michelle was talking about. Is like, okay, now I'm getting all this business because I've implemented some of the things that I've learned, and now I don't know how to handle it. And that is kind of like that balance that we try to find between work and life. And sometimes it becomes unbalanced as an entrepreneur. And I think a part of the growth is just like, this might not be the best thing to say, but just being in balance for a short period of time so that you can rebalance ultimately to get to that ultimate goal of being able to hire more people. Because I mean, you have to have processes in place for those new hires or contractors to even add value to your business and not be more of a headache. So whatever those things are that you feel like, if you take a step back and say, okay, these are the things that I can delegate, how can I be very specific about how I would like this to be done for my business based on the passion, vision, and things that we've developed during Passion and Profit? Like, how do I take a step back and say, this is how I would like for other people to exercise these parts of the business so that it is still cohesive with my brand and vision. And to do that, you're going to have to take the time away to do it, which sometimes means 12-hour days. Not saying that that's what I want for you forever, but we've all been there where we've just had to do it. Like Michelle knows, like, when I was contracting for her, I was working full time and also working like another business. And so those days were like, literally, I don't remember how they happened, but it's kind of like now I'm able to rebalance because I've been able to kind of jump and take a leap into more of a balanced situation. And I just think it's kind of like digging down and doing that briefly so you can implement the passion and profit, principles that will help you to then scale to the next level. But it is short term.
I agree with that. It is short term.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do make short term sacrifices for long term gains. And I'm not saying it is easy, because it is not. Sometimes you get out of balance with your time. Sometimes you get out of balance with your finances. But if you know where you're going, you know the vision that you have, and you know you're making the right steps towards it, it is okay to be out of balance in the short run for the long-term gain. So yes, every entrepreneur, every business owner goes through this, but you get past it. If you do it properly, you get past it, because you don't want to bring team members into a business where you don't have a solid process for them to follow, because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, and they're definitely not going to do it the way you do it. So taking that time does pay off in the long run. But when you're doing those CEO days, give yourself a runway. So the first time I took a 4-week vacation, I gave myself 18 months to get the business in alignment so that I could take that time off. So I worked a lot of hours. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I hate to say grinding, because don't take that the wrong way. I was working on my business at 5 a.m. because at 9 a.m. I had to be doing business, right?
Perfect question.
So yes, that's the time I found for myself to do that.
Question: Why do you dislike grinding? Like,
I dislike grinding because it gives the essence that is, it's really hard when you see something grind. It's two metal plates pushing against each other, and it is, to me, that's hard. It's not hard. You are building the life that you want to live. It is not hard to build that life. It takes sacrifice, it takes discipline, but it's not a grind for me. For me personally, it's not a grind. That's why I don't like the word grind.
oh, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't like the word either. I don't like grinding either, or like team no sleep. I feel like those
Yeah.
they
Team no
feed
sleep.
into,
Oh, no,
I
please
hate
no.
that.
No,
Yeah.
I
It
hate
like
that.
feeds into
Yeah.
this it feeds into this stereotype that to be successful you must kind of like ignore your mental health and bodily needs and stuff like that. And that's just like super counterproductive long term. So
Exactly. That is
I hate
not
that stuff
true.
too.
You do not have to grind. You are building the life that you want. And to build your life takes time. It takes discipline. Even if you didn't have a business, even if you didn't have a business, it takes time and discipline to build the life that you have envisioned for yourself. It is not a grind to me. Someone else, it may be a grind, but to me, that's two metal plates, pounding against each other and nothing is moving. But I know that when I am being intentional about making plans for my business, like that is not a grind. That is not a grind. I'm building a life I want.
There's got to be another like adverb for this. Like, I don't know. I keep envisioning like a someone who like lifts weights or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the gym,
Yeah.
getting gains,
Gains.
Yeah.
Putting in work.
Putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would prefer to call it instead of grind. I'm putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sowing my seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I sow good seed, I'm expecting a harvest.
Amen.
But when I'm grinding, yes, when I'm grinding, I'm crushing something. What am I crushing? This is my life. I'm planting seeds because I'm expecting a harvest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And that's a part of developing that CEO mindset.
Yes.
It's like, I can recall a time when I started my first business making hair products. I remember talking to another friend who was a fellow entrepreneur. And she gave me this list of things that I needed to do. And I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I have a full-time job. I lost it. Then I started my second business and we had a similar conversation. And I was so pumped to go for it because my mindset had changed so much in understanding what business is, how I can make it my own, how, if things are to be, it is up to me. And I really had to change the mindset of understanding what it takes to grow a business, but also the fruits of your labor are so much sweeter when you've been able to build something from the ground up and really see it flourish and move. And so if I had some of these like principles back when I started the first business, I probably could have saved myself a lot of time wasted and heartache because I would have had a better understanding of how, just some of the things that are regular to business ownership, like, when you first start a business, you just don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. And aligning what I saw, what I wanted, so much earlier would have been really crucial to maybe even that business still operating today. It's not,
Right.
but it's okay. Still in my pocket. I can do it if I want to, but I opted to do this other thing that's more lucrative. So that's another reason, like looking to see if I can have a lasting, profitable, long-term client life. Like the second business makes more sense for that. So the principles are just, they're so helpful at any point in your business, but it's extremely helpful to have that mindset to understand what it takes to really create the life that you want. It's not hard the whole time.
Right.
It won't be hard forever.
It won't.
Because once you've had that foundation, you can bring in people that fit the culture, fit your vision, and understand. Like, I still am in awe of our team where everybody likes each other and everybody understands the point of Mitchell Consulting and the vision of Mitchell Consulting, and everybody plays their part like a well-oiled machine almost, most of the time. Minus Kajabi. Kajabi doesn't like us right now.
Yeah, Kajabi does not like us right now, and I'm so
not a team player.
You might have to
lose a team player.
You said you might have to lose Kajabi?
Yeah, you might have to let Kajabi go.
I'm
Adios.
those are decisions that like we have to make,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like it just changes like over time.
It does.
That perspective or getting gains or it takes different shape. Even with a team, I feel like my perspective has changed. CEO perspective or how you put in work or how you designate tasks and stuff is is a lot different now.
Yeah, because when you grow as the leader of the organization, like it will change. It will change how it will change how your team sees you. It will change how your customer sees you. And you have developed new awareness where you didn't know that you didn't have just by going through the process of developing as a leader. And when someone goes through Passion to Profit, like you are developing as a leader of your organization because you are putting a stake in the ground and you are identifying what your vision is, what your culture is, what is the expertise that we have that we know we can solve for clients, how to bring those clients in a profitable way with your right pricing and developing that relationship over the long run and putting everything through a system, a systematic way of how your business runs. Because when you bring on team members that aren't in alignment with what you do and they don't understand the vision of the company, that's when you have problems.
Mhm.
And then people say, well, I don't want to hire anyone because it's hard working with people. Yes, it is hard working with people. But if you do the work up front and you let people know how to work with you, you just get to work with them that much better. You know, I'm glad Lauren commented about how our team works together. They own their individual responsibilities and they know where they fit in the whole process. So as a leader, like I think Passion to Profit is pivotal for your business. It's a non-negotiable because you need these foundational pieces. And if you don't have them, it's time to go back and put them in place. So
Yeah. Hey, mic drop.
yeah. So
Appreciate
with that being said, if you don't have any more questions, that'll be it for our roundtable today.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for joining.